Hey, what's going on guys? Jolts here, back with another patch video, and today is the big patch to add to Director's Cut DLC, and on top of that, a lot of changes for the base game too. This patch should be live for everybody by 12 PM PST. Alright, so first up, if you haven't heard, we're getting the Director's Cut DLC, so if you have purchased Season Pass 2 or bought this DLC as a standalone, then you can now take on Hemovorous the Invincible. Now, in order to take on this new raid boss, what you need to do is beat the main story, and then if you go over to Sanctuary 3 and go to Claptrap's Closet, you can find the raid boss mission over there. Now, it was confirmed that the raid boss will cost 500 Iridium to spawn, so make sure you stock up on Iridium now. On top of that, with the Director's Cut, you will be getting the Ava Murder missions too, so you can go ahead and explore new maps on Pandora, Promethea, Eden 6, and Necrotafeo. The next thing for the Director's Cut is the behind the scenes content. So if you guys are interested in seeing concept art, storyboards, lost map, and footage throughout the game's development, then you can check that out too. For the Director's Cut, we're getting 3 new vault cards, and with these vault cards you can go ahead and do challenges in the base game and get rewarded for it. That loot can be new legendaries or cosmetics and stuff like that. And finally, for the Director's Cut content, they did add the diamond armory to Sanctuary. So when you're trying to get loot out of your vault cards, you can actually get diamond keys, and those diamond keys will activate the diamond armory and give you a bunch of good loot. Alright, so that was it for all the Director's Cut content that was added today. So again, if you own that DLC, you will get all that stuff. So onto the Designer's Cut DLC. For those who already own the Designer's Cut DLC, you know, the arms race and skill trees, you will also be getting more on top of what you already purchased. They are going to be adding 4 new pieces of gear to the arms race, and also a brand new head and skin and body for all the vault hunters. That is interesting, so I'm kind of wondering where those items will fall in arms race. Like, will it be from a specific chest, or do you have to kill the boss itself, or get it as a world drop anyway? We'll have to wait and see on that. Now onto the stuff that everybody gets regardless if you bought DLC or not. They added support for the Maurice Black Market vending machine. So basically this is going to be a vending machine that teleports around the game, and the vendor is going to change position every Thursday at 9 AM Pacific. If you do manage to find this vendor, you will find top tier legendary loot. But of course, this is a vending machine, so you will have to purchase it with in-game money. Alright, the big one, Crazy Earl's Reroll machine. For 250 Iridium, you can reroll Anoints on any of your items. Now, keep in mind that your item has to be anointed in order to reroll it, so you cannot reroll a piece of gear that's not anointed. I don't think I really need to mention it, but it is listed on the patch notes. If you reroll something, that previous anoint is gone and your new anoint is applied. There is no undo button. Don't worry though, you can keep rerolling until you get the anoint you want. This machine can be found by Crazy Earl in Sanctuary 3. Alright, proceeding on here, we do have the gameplay changes for the patch notes. The Rhino Legendary Launcher can now roll with Anoints. Thank you. This launcher did not perform the best without Anoints, so now it's hopefully going to be a lot better. They did update the Broken Hearts weapon to roll with Anoints. In the past, the Wedding Invitation and Polyamorous could not roll with the newer Anoints after the Cartel event, so I'm assuming now you can toss it in the reroll machine and get yourself 390, the 150% radiation damage at 50% HP, and so on and so forth. Here's one that a lot of you guys probably didn't know about. On your artifacts, when it says it boosts heavy damage, that actually never boosted heavy damage. That used to boost shotgun damage. Why? I don't know, but now it boosts heavy damage, so it's all good. Here's a good one. They updated Action Skill Active Anoints so that switching from Action Skill Active Anoints will still apply to the gun. In the past, when this anoint was active and you swapped away, it would disappear. Now the anoint should stick if you swap weapons and swap back. They addressed a reported concern that all players would not hear the Iridium logs in the medical bay after the first vault mission. They updated DLC 2, 3, and 4 to properly scale with the player's level in TVHM. The Iridium jars in the Jackpot DLC will now drop the correct amount of Iridium. And Zane's Critical Mass class mod will now be called the Spy. Yeah, if you aren't familiar, the Critical Mass was in the Arms Race DLC, but it was supposed to be called the Spy. It's not going to be a brand new class mod. The Hot Springs Legendary Grenade model has been fixed. If you go into Fight for Your Life in Arms Race and get a revive from a teammate, sometimes your screen would bug out and say you're still in Fight for Your Life. That should not be fixed. They addressed a reported concern where in Arms Race if you did level up, you would not have your skill points after you exit the Arms Race. That should not be fixed. They applied an indicator to a player spectating an Arms Race after dying. They addressed noticeable hitching throughout the game when you're in heavy combat. That's a pretty good one because nobody likes their game hitching. They updated the events tab, so basically if you did like Broken Hearts event last year and you wanted to claim it for this year, then you would get the current event items. And that goes for all the events too. They fixed Captain Hot from going invincible if you kill the pillars too fast during the fight, but obviously you won't be able to see that change until the Bloody Harvest returns in the future. And finally, for the gameplay changes, they added hotfixes to the game permanently. So any of the previous hotfixes that I mentioned within the past hotfix notes, those should now be applied to the game even if you're offline. Alright, on to Vault Hunter changes. Moses' Harmonious Havoc skill will now give you the proper damage in Fight for Your Life. With Amara, when you use Phase Grasp, sometimes you can't pick up certain bosses or enemies. Now it will properly activate when you do that. Hamara's Phase Flare Orb will now activate properly when aiming at the ground, using an action skill or switching weapons at the same time. They modified the Siren's Remnant skill projectile to have its own damage source, so Remnant will only allow gun damage and action skill damage to pass through it. They updated Flag's Commandlet class mod to trigger on bullets, melee, and skill damage. They updated Flag's Ion Loader pet to follow moving enemies while using the eye laser. And they updated Flag's Bad Astra skin at the quick change stations. In the past, it would show Moses' icon in it, and now it should show Flag's. Alright, on to the platform changes. On PC, they updated the friends list on Epic versions of Borderlands 3, so now it should not display friends that don't exist. For consoles, they did update the edge detection for PS5 and Xbox Series X. They addressed a reported concern in split screen that was causing art and text to cross over to the bottom screen. They updated icons to display correctly for Echo Map and split screen. And they updated Zane's double barrel skill to show the full effect in split screen too. Now for the PlayStation changes. They addressed a reported issue that was causing the Tales from the Iridian Slab and the Master of All Surveys trophy not to unlock on PS5. Players that have completed these requirements should have the trophy next time they load BL3. They fixed Guardian Rank from resetting when transferring save data from PS4 to PS5. They added a screen to obscure the shift menus on PS5 while streaming. Some players were unable to search for other players while starting matchmaking. That should also now be fixed. On PS4, they fixed errors that would display if the player has slow HDD on. And they fixed issues that would cause the player's level, character, and map location not to be shown in multiplayer. Finally, onto the Xbox changes. Some users cannot join their friend's game invite when their game was not open. That should now be fixed. Some players could still play online without an Xbox Gold subscription, but that should now be fixed too. And they improved the server consolidation on Xbox. That's going to be it for all the platform changes, so on to the one hotfix we got. Now to apply this hotfix, make sure you are playing online, and all you have to do is sit at the main menu for a few seconds. Once you see a sign pop up behind your character saying hotfixes are applied, you are good to go. Alright, adjusted the world drop rate for players in Mayhem mode. As you might know, when you kill a random boss, you usually get like 7 legendaries on Mayhem 10. Now it's going to be quite a bit less. Before there are concerns, I did reach out to a dev to see why they made this change. And the main reason is because now that we have the reroll machine, it isn't needed to heavily drop legendaries at endgame in order to get the right anoint on a certain weapon. Now, I did ask how much it took a hit, and they weren't able to give me an exact number at the time, but they guessed it was around 50% less world drops. So instead of getting 8 legendaries from killing a boss, you're normally going to start seeing 4. Anyways, that is going to be it for the patch notes, so let me know below in the comments what you guys are looking forward to the most. For me, I am curious about what this new raid boss is going to drop, and I'm also curious if there's going to be any new farms in the Ava Murder missions too. On top of that, I am curious about the 4 new Arms Race legendaries too. And yeah, that should be it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and of course, if you did, then please be sure to leave a like because that'd be awesome. And if you guys really enjoyed it, be sure to sub. You guys have a great day, and I will see you all later. Peace out.